going to show you how I made this cut ruffled 10-inch mesh reindeer wreath. It's going to be so cute for your door at Christmas time. What you're going to need for this project is the reindeer kit, of course. It comes with the bottom and the antlers. You're also going to need a roll of 10-inch mesh. One roll will do this. It's a 10-yard roll. I chose 3 different ribbons, a 24-inch work wreath. You'll want to get a pipe cleaner to make your hanger on the back, and then I chose a really cute Christmas stem that had a little pine and some berries. You could choose one with snow, but I'm going to use something that's a little bit more natural for this project. After you've fluffed up all your ties, you're going to want to cut your mesh. Your mesh is going to be cut into 10 by 12 inch pieces. So 10 is the height of it, and you're going to cut it about 12 inches for the length. You don't have to measure though, you're just going to want to cut anywhere between 11 and 10 inches, and that'll give it a more varied look. I go ahead and cut the whole roll, and then ruffle my pieces and add them in. So after I cut them all, you're going to lay your mesh out, and you're going to pinch it up the center of the mesh. We've done this before with the 21-inch mesh, but with 10-inch mesh you get littler pieces like this that are going to give you that more ruffled look. So I'm going to take one of those, open a set of ties, and lay it in there. I like to go ahead and do the whole wreath like this, one piece in each set of ties. You probably will have a little bit left over, a few pieces that you can go back and add in, and most of the time I just do that on the outer ring where I want it to look a little bit fuller. You don't have to, you can just add more ribbon and things, but if you want to use all your mesh for this project, you can go ahead and do that. So now I'm just going to go through and twist them all in. As you can see, I've gone through and added one into each set of ties. It looks really nice and full, but if you're one of those people that like a really full wreath, now's the time you can go back in with your extra pieces just right on top of where you've already put some. You have about 2 yards left, so you can do it in about 8 of the different sections. So I might go back and just beef up a couple little spots so then it really accents around the reindeer. Now you're ready to start adding in all your attachments. First thing I'm going to do is add in my pipe cleaner for the hanger. I flip over the back of the wreath and just twist it around one of the crossbars. Next I'm going to add the deer butt first. So with these kits we have a snowman, a Santa, the deer, and we also have an elf this year for Christmas. And it's so nice because they come with the wires already on them, so you can literally just twist it onto your wreath. You don't have to do anything else. So what I do is I figure out where I want it, and normally with this one I put it kind of in the center so his legs hang down. So I'm going to start with the left, and they're just long enough you can catch that first bar on the work wreath. And I always try and do a crossbar, it just adds a little bit more support. So I'm going to twist it a few times around, and that's normally all you need to hold it on there. It's just a green floral wire. Pull your mesh back over to hide where you've attached it, and then go to the other side and do the same thing. Next I'm going to add in the antlers. They also have a little wire attached and a bottom wire that connects them, and I use the bottom wire to hold it on, and then I use a little bit of hot glue to get them to stand up really straight. So I just go into the top and I twist it in 2 ties, not just one. So I'm going to divide my mesh up here so I can see the 2 ties really easily, and I'm going to twist it right by the antler on both sides. And then I go ahead and use a little wire cutter and cut off that extra wire that I'm not going to need so it doesn't scratch my door. And then you'll see they're kind of flopping over. So that's when I take a little hot glue right onto the twist tie. And then I'm going to just glue my antler up so it sticks straight up out of the wreath. And I go ahead and do it on both sides. Next, you're ready to add my favorite part, and that's ribbon. I chose 3 different ribbons. I did a Christmas plaid that's got the red and the ivory with black in it. I did a neutral dot, and I also am going to do a red and brown stripe. So there are 2 2.5 ones and 1 1.5 inch. You can vary it more. But I always like to start with the one that I'm going to put at the bottom that I want to show up the most. And that's the one I normally put the most in. So I might add a piece into every tie. On this wreath, I'm going to do cut pieces the whole time. I'm not going to loop it through. I'll end up using about 5 yards of each one because I am going to add quite a bit in there. So just cut your cute V-cut, pinch it about 5 to 6 inches down, and just start twisting it into your ties. So I move my mesh around and my ribbon around so it gives you that look. It's a little bit more piecey. You can see it, the mesh is sometimes in front of it, sometimes behind it, and it looks really good. So I'm just going to add these in each tie, so this really shows up. I've finished adding in the plaid, and I ended up doing about a 12-inch piece in every tie, so it does take 5 to 5.5 yards. This one I'm not going to do as much, so you could get like 3 or 4 yards of it. But I'm going to go right back in on top of the plaid here and there, just to add a little bit of that lighter color. I like to make my ties go the opposite direction of the ones I just put in there. So then the wreath looks really full. So now I'm just going to twist this here and there before I add in my third ribbon. Before I add in the third ribbon, I'm going to add in my Christmas stems. What you're going to want to do is cut the stem off and leave yourself about 2 inches. That's what you're going to use to twist it into the work wreath with. I always fluff them out a lot, and that way they take up a little bit more space on the work wreath and you don't need quite as many. So after you've fluffed it out, I look for some obvious holes. Like I think there's one right there, so I'm going to twist this one right in here. Lay it in between the ties and make sure to twist it in between something like pine cones or a few different stems and pull your ribbon towards the front. And then that way it's really secure in there. Next one I'm going to do is going to go like right down here. Like to add a little bit of greenery because it breaks up the texture of all the ribbon and the mesh. And my last one I'm going to do right over here. Okay, now I'm ready to add in my third ribbon. This is the narrower one, and the reason I'm doing it last is because now I can go over places like where I added the greenery, so it really shows up. So again, I'm going to use probably about 2.5, 3 yards of this one, and just add a few pieces in here and there, starting with where I tucked in that greenery. He's all done. Isn't he cute? You could add some lights in him too if you're going to hang him inside, and he'd be really adorable. Make sure to check us out on Facebook for more projects. We post a lot of wreaths on there. Also, watch more of our YouTube videos. Find us on Pinterest, and also find us on Instagram. Have a good day.
Whenever you're ready.
Hey guys, it's Anna here at Dee's, and today I'm going to show you how I made this 10-inch cut ruffled mesh wreath with the cute reindeer. Hang on, I don't know why